and dad, and this has to do with staying engaged in the business, is don't forget where you came from. Don't forget how you got there. Your roots are important to you. Don't ever get the big head. Stay humble. And more importantly, don't forget the people that helped you along the way. And I've got a couple short stories about a couple people that have helped us along the way. Let's see if I can read this. One is Lloyd and one is Brian. Lloyd is our hospitality ambassador at our Spring Green restaurant. Some people might think Lloyd has a disability. Honestly, I don't see it. The other one is about Brian. Same thing. Brian is at our Baraboo restaurant. Two great young men. Lloyd is our hospitality ambassador in the Spring Green Culvers. Lloyd started with us in the fall of 1999 as part of a school to work program. He started just doing prep work in the morning. Well, when he graduated in May, we brought him on as a full-time team member and trained him to run orders to the drive-thru and the dining room. Lloyd knows everyone in town. Now, Spring Green has about 1,350 people, but Lloyd knows every single one of them. So we thought that bringing on Lloyd, it would make it great for him and Culver's knowing everybody. However, for the first 3 months, he felt like our guests were always looking at him or talking about him. Well, eventually, he started to feel comfortable with the team at Culver's and our guests. And in fact, maybe he felt too comfortable with our guests. The team at Spring Green literally loves Lloyd, and so do the guests. I love Lloyd too. Occasionally we'll slip him back into the kitchen to help, but from first-hand knowledge, Lloyd should not be in the kitchen. He should not be. Lloyd should be out in front with our guests and team members. Lloyd now lives independently. He rides his bike to work regardless of the weather, and he loves the Badgers and the Packers. Last year, I gave him and a couple team members from Spring Green a couple tickets to the UW Badger basketball game, and we happen to have great tickets right behind the Badger bench. And when I saw him next, Lloyd was in heaven. He was. He just thought that was the coolest thing ever. Well, Lloyd has now been with us for 12 years. Cool guy. If you ever go to Spring Green, ask for Lloyd. I got to mention Brian as well. Brian works at our Baraboo Culvers. Brian works every day during the week. Brian has been with us about 5 years. He is extremely reliable, usually showing up an hour before he has to work. He does. He walks to work every day. He doesn't ride his bike. He walks to work today, 2 miles each way. I'm not kidding you. It's 2 miles. And like Lloyd, he takes care of running orders to the guests and keeping the dining room clean. He has an infectious smile and probably works a little bit harder than Lloyd, but don't tell Lloyd that. My team at Culver's thinks a great deal of him, and I'm pretty sure the feelings from Brian are mutually returned. Every day when he sits down to eat at Culver's, he always ponders having something different on the menu. But every day he has the same thing. It's a grilled chicken sandwich and a Caesar salad. Well, he does eat healthy. He does do that. And you know what? We have so many more stories like that throughout the Culver's Nation. We do. So many of my franchise partners live and breathe this. They believe in it. They do. As I said before, we believe in people. And I think, growing a culture about your company, it's about believing in people. And again, I go back to my roots, good old mom and dad. I think that's where it all came from. So hats off to you, Mom and Dad. You're wonderful. Thank you, everybody.